In an explosion of color and character, the world-renowned Mark Morris Dance Group is coming to Charleston this month with an exciting and unique tribute to music that changed the world a half-century ago. We're delighted to be joined by Sam Black, company director for the Mark Morris Dance Group. Great to have you.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So Mark Morris Dance Group is known for its incredibly innovative dance, groundbreaking. Maybe you can give our audience just a quick little history lesson on this dance company.
Sure, I'll give you the abbreviated version because the company is about 41 years old and a lot has happened in 41 years, as you can imagine. Mark Morris formed the company in 1980 with sort of a ragtag group of friends. It was more like, let's just put on a show, here's who's available. I don't think he really had any idea that it would turn into the juggernaut that it is. He spent a great deal of time in Brussels, Belgium as the resident choreographer at the Théâtre Monet there, and then came back to the States, had already made some really well-known and well-received dances, and has been doing it ever since.
And he has done choreography for all kinds of companies, as you just noted, but also including classical ballet companies like San Francisco Ballet Company, American Ballet Theater, and so on and so forth. Why do you think some of these dance companies that are so classically ballet like to have someone such as Mark Morris come in and choreograph on their dancers?
I think that Mark, even though the work that he makes for his own company is really deeply rooted in American modern dance and folk dance and dances from around the world, we train in ballet every day. So he has a really deep appreciation for George Balanchine. He loves ballet, he reveres it, and he's considered one of the most musical choreographers alive. So I think that ballet companies love putting some of his dances in their repertory because it shows a great range for their dancers to try something new. But the ballets he makes are incredibly musical, incredibly complex choreographically and compositionally, and they have his stamp. So I think it's every company wants a wide range of dances in their rep, and so if you can get one of his dances, why not?
And certainly George Balanchine, of course, being the founder of New York City Ballet, which is known for its very athletic type of choreography and the athleticism of their dancers. Speaking of athleticism, though, that's exactly what you get with Mark Morris Dance Group. And in fact, it looks like Pepperland, which you're going to be bringing to Charleston audiences, is just that. Maybe you can tell us a bit more about this performance.
Sure. Pepperland premiered in 2017 as part of the Liverpool Festival, which was celebrating 50 years of the very famous album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band by the Beatles. The city of Liverpool commissioned a bunch of different artists from different fields to each choose a track from the album that they would sort of reinterpret as sort of a way of celebrating this big milestone. Mark being Mark, he chose a number of tracks. We wanted to make it a full evening dance that we could tour around the world. And he worked with a longtime collaborator, jazz musician and pianist and composer Ethan Iverson to rearrange some of the songs from Sgt. Pepper, the album, and also compose some new tracks that were all sort of inspired by ideas or themes from the music. So it's about an hour-long show. It's about 12 sections, some of which are more familiar musically than others. If you're expecting sort of a karaoke sing-along version of Sgt. Pepper's, it's not quite what you're going to see, but everything is incredibly true to the spirit of the album, which was all about collaboration and trying new things. It was the first time that George Harrison was sort of experimenting with Indian music, which had a great influence on Mark. So it's sort of in the spirit of experimentation and trying new things that this dance
and can you just describe some of the choreography, particularly in Pepperland, and also the backdrops, the costumes? It is an explosion, like I said earlier, of color.
Yeah, the costumes are by Elizabeth Kurtzman, and I think she was going for sort of a mod London 60s look. So there's some skirts for the women, ties for the men, very bright colors, very sort of pop art in terms of the color. The set is open to interpretation. I don't want to tell you what it necessarily means or represents because it's meant to be somewhat abstract, and I've heard some great responses to what the set means to different audience members. And the range of choreography goes from pretty abstract. Mark is, like I said, a deeply musical choreographer, and he doesn't always know what's going to happen when he starts making up a dance to music. So a lot of the sections they're all direct responses to the music. Some are more literal. Penny Lane, we're actually sort of acting out some of the scenes that the lyrics are describing. So it's a pretty good range of things that are a little bit more easy to follow in terms of sort of a through line or a character, and then a little bit more abstract and open-ended.
Fantastic process. All right, this is happening at the Gaillard this Sunday, so make sure you go out and get your ticket. I want to thank you so much, Sam Black, for joining us.
Thanks, and see you soon.
All right, we're back after this.